James Gbueh Wilson is the acting county education officer for Maryland County. The activities of this year's academic have already begun, and you are acting as a Minister of Education for Maryland County. Could you detail us on how far the activities are in line with the ministry's calendar of events?
Government sent the academic calendar for 2023-2024, and although we have not printed them out to be distributed, but they were sent through electronic means. And so what we started with is that schools are presently in session. When I say in session, that is registrations begin. It started since August 1st and should be ending by August 31st. But classes begin effective September 4th. And for the sake of election, because there are others that register in different constituencies, and so to allow them to go to their constituencies and cast a rifle vote. So the ministry will be suspending classes by the 6th of October.
Wow.
And by 16 to resume classes. And so in those days, we expect our school administrators and teachers, at least from the 4th of September up to October 6th, at least to try work in line with the curriculum. Maybe give some assignment while students on the break to just keep them lay busy, although that election time. But definitely we expect to absorb all of what first period should be absorbed on the let's say within the curriculum. So there we are. And we also want to strike out the ministry. The minister himself took the air, even including the communication officer, Honorable Bleaton, that the fees remains the same. There's no addition for this year. To be specific, the kindergarten session and the one we call ECD, they should be paying $3,500 annually of the academic year. And from first to sixth grade, we'll be paying $1,000, while from 7th through 9th grade, we'll be paying $2,000, and 10th to 12th, we'll be paying $3,000. So these are the stipulation of the federal fees. And the fees are for a year, or academic year. So we expect our school administrators that at least you should be very moderate so as to have our people, so let's say send their children in school. It is not compulsory that our parents stand on the spot to pay the whole $3,500. So it depends on the negotiation with the school administration. So there we are. Another thing the ministry want to raise eyebrow on is the sale of uniform, specifically in particular school. Yes, uniform selling is business. The minister said in Gbueh, and we ourselves, as representative of the minister in the county, we are not against the school selling the uniform, but that should not be compulsory. So all you need to do, get a sample of your uniform the way you want it to be, and get it at the registrar desk. Any parent go to register or student go to register. This is the type of uniform. If you have it to sell, and you tell them that I have it, if they have the money, they want to buy it from you, fine. But if they don't want to buy it from you, that should not be something compulsory. So that's one of the strongest warning we want to give our schools. This warning is applied to all private and public schools. We're hearing a lot of rumors that people are saying until election itself, schools are, or let's say lessons are suspended. Not true. We're beginning lesson all 5th grade, community schools, private schools, public schools, classes starts the 4th of September. And we will get on our feet to do proper monitoring to see the school that will not be in session after that time.
The WAS result that was released yesterday by the Ministry of Education, even though the result had not reached you, but are you hopeful of having increase in the...
Our office actually have a strong hope that thank God that Liberia came very high according to the report yesterday. The 4,000 plus, I think for the 6,000, we went far. And so we know that Maryland County is in that number that makes that successful pass. So we are hopeful that once Liberia is pronounced to be, to have a kind of about 98% of our passing, or let's say passers, we know that Maryland County is no exception. So we are hopeful. Though we are not then released locally yet, but we trust that Maryland County will be on the map.
Because you know the county, and that is the reason why you started acting, meaning that you have toured the county and understood some of the challenges and progress made by the Ministry of Education over the years. Could we talk about the level of manpower, infrastructure, and supply of instructional materials from the side of the government across the county?
The government cater to the nation as a whole, because that's the responsibility of the government. And so in terms of infrastructure, let me begin from there. You find some of our schools, like the public schools, they were constructed by government. And some schools, even that we term as public school, were constructed by the locals themselves. But government maintained that, But right now, for some years now, we have not really had any major renovation process. And so you find most of our schools now start to dilapidate. You see, so it's not easy. Like even in the very city of Harper, where I supervise the Harper Education District 2, and even have District 1, my colleague and myself, definitely we face a bucket of leakage of school roof. Some schools, from the education thing, you find some, some sides, corners are broken down, and this and that. So definitely for the infrastructure, we have serious problems. But that of the manpower, which is the teachers level or maybe administrators, the recruitment, government, the massive pension of our employee, due to the required age that one need to reach. Then besides that, you find in the kind of little, nutshell, there are some that are abandoned, maybe because of some other, better job than the teaching job. And we have some that died. But see, government has not really done totally the replacement of those personnel. And so we are seriously in problem. There's no school in Maryland County that you don't find somebody volunteering in.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. There's no school. Even there are some schools that you don't find even an employed teacher also volunteers. And so we want to applaud our parents in that direction. The parents are we are doing well, because it is from their little fees that they pay. They put aside, the school administration put aside to compensate to volunteers. So we want to applaud our parents, and we pray that government is working all things. At least this going year, 2022, 2023, we're lucky. About 84% go on payroll, and over 84%, at least they were shared with various districts, and at least we getting on par small. So we're looking up again to this coming academic to see what number will be able to come out again. As our people or volunteer get on payroll, it reduce our strength too. You getting me? It actually reduce the stress on us, because at least the idea of volunteers coming in, and the reason which the ministry really have problem, and even all of us have problem with that, because we are both parents and caretakers of the school, is that these things create some corruption, education malpractices. Because the volunteer teacher, once he's not getting anything, he will always want to force the students, maybe give extra tests, assignment to carry home and put this one in it. So we pray that government is working hard to see that the volunteers, though it will not be eliminated, but it will be minimal.
In recent time, there were interventions by partners, especially under the Aras Grant program, where major public institutions are undergoing renovations, and I understand that 3 public schools are being constructed currently in the county. Could you comment on that?
The first project that came was renovation for the 6 schools, but we have a few of these schools, like Barracan is having the extension construction now. Then we have Barobo 2 is having an extension construction. But the rest,
and one in Boniken.
and Boniken, very good. So you are right. Because 3 of those schools are presently, benefiting from the honest construction. And but we have 6 schools under the ARAS project for renovation, and that work is done. I think all of the schools look a little perfect now, though everything cannot be just 100%. But at least the students are sitting in a conducive area, most especially on the senior high division. And besides that, we have some early childhood building that Arab is also carrying on. We have one in Boloken, that is in Soroken district. We have one in Barobo 2 as well. And we have one in Barobo 1 that is in Jiruken and Ratown respectively. The constructions are presently on roof level, and we expect the project was signed by, let's say, from the donors for 8 months. But due to the rule situation according to contractors, this is why up to present now, because we expected to have received the bidding for the opening of this academic year. But due to the rule condition according to the contractors, so we have them presently, they are on roof level. So we hope to see the projects being completed.
So who's the sponsor behind the construction of those pre-primary or institutions?
Yeah, the donor behind that is World Bank project.
Okay. So let's talk about those schools that were renovated under the ARAS grant program.
There are 6. One is located in Hapo Education District 1,
which is Kepamo High School.
Then John Hillary in Hapo Education District 2. Then we have Plibo High in Plibo Education District, and New Plibo High in Plibo Education District as well. Then we have Kaloken in Kalwe Education District 1, and we have Barobo Central High in Barobo Education District 1.
What does the extension of those 3 senior high INSs and the construction of the pre-primary institutions mean to the local ministry?
What the local ministry sends out is that we see the enrollment is rising on an academic basis. And so this is why the ministry found it important, instead of just bucking the students in one class, because the ministry had a standard number for the class, at least 45 students in a class, or normal learning class, at most that 50. But we see that after the war, gradually people are getting to be interested in education. And so due to the rising of the enrollment, this is what prompted the ministry to have undertaken this project.
Will the construction of those institutions help to enhance the operation of your local ministry and have the young people nurtured properly?
Of course, 100%. Because as we said from the beginning, that we have some of the building down trying to dilapidate. And so the construction of those buildings will actually ease the ministry, and will bring complete release to the dwellers, let's say those that live in the facility. Definitely, because if the building spots, what I want to say, in every learning institution, there should be some decency. If the area is not really decent for learning, definitely the lesson will not go on well. And so we feel that government initiative is not in vain, or will not be in vain, because that will bring complete release to the dweller of that area. And so we look at it as a plus for the government and plus for the people that live in those various destinations.
Let's compare the number of females enrolling at the Maryland County school system as compared to yesteryears. Is there any increment in the number of females?
We have our county statistician. He gave a very encouraging, because the statistics he gives, he collects them from the various DEOs. And we saw that Maryland County had females on the top, both private and public.
What is the number?
We have female enrollment is 25,474 girls. Therefore, male enrollment is 25,376. So you see that comparing the two numbers, you see that female is on the top presently. But we have the total enrollment for Maryland County presently for this gone academic year now, 2022-2023, we have 50,850 students. So,
Wow.
and of this 50,850, the female tap the number.
Do you believe that tapping this number by females will increase their participation in public positions and political, activities?
That's our dream, because women come up to say these days that what man does, women can do the same. And so we are sure once our female are now forgetting about the early marriages and the early teenage pregnancy and getting to have much interest in education, we believe that at least women can do the best. Even Liberia is an example where we had the first female president in West Africa. And so we feel that women are now moving her and they will get to where men have been.
So you talk about government approved tuition for this school year. In the case where institutions like administrators of public institution and private institution want to increase, what would be the penalty, especially where the Ministry of Education does not approve maybe like PTA fees?
For PTA fee is negotiable. Let me just start from that end. And about what government advised that should not exceed 20% of what government charge. And so government set example before where even the county education officer for this county, Maryland County, was once suspended for I think a month period together with one or two principals just for the inflation of fees. And so we feel that this is a lesson to everybody. So we expect all of our school principals to really pay attention, or let's say to take heed and govern themselves. With our private schools, yes, we know government is not providing subsidy directly for now, but equally so there is a system that our private schools should not raise fees every academic year. At least after one or two academic years, you can do your fees and additional fees due to because there are some conditions. Maybe you want to do some renovation, you want to do some extended construction. You getting me? So with that, but we expect your increasement should not exceed the same 20%. You getting me?
All right.
So definitely our eyes are going to be shined bright on schools that will inflate school fees, maybe for their own personal sake. Because when they get ready, they'll say PTA want to do this project, PTA want to do this. We are not stopping that, but parents should not be squeezed to the wall. All we want to say is that should not exceed 20% from of PTA discussion with the government fees. We also want to encourage our administrators. This going academic, we noticed some irregularities with the fees issue. Administrators will wait until the testing time before they send student out. You see? Okay, if the student makes a test, just imagine you guys were 30 students in your class and 2 students owing fees, and they make the test. Then what test you expect the teacher to administer to the 2 students? And by then, the administrator gave the teachers chance, to do at least some personal gain, because the student main grade, so you find them, they will go behind the instructor that I beg you, let me give you this, so I will take my test. And so we want to seriously discourage that. We started saying that from last year, and we want to continue it, that you have many ways to collect your fees from the students. But that should not be during the testing time. Those students should be put out. Even the ministry condemned the idea of students being put out to school for activities fee. So when this go across to private and public schools, we want to appeal to them, and that's the mandate from the ministry, that they need to live with that. You should not put students out doing tests now.
Just before we leave you, Maryland County is one of those benefited from the post-war technical and vocational centers in Liberia by the support of the EU. And Kipamos High School, which is considered as the county's model school, is based in your district. I stand to be corrected. What does it mean for the construction of this institution to the young people who could not afford university tuition?
Thank you very much. Where do just give a little correction? It falls in District 1
All right.
and I'm for District 2. Definitely the construction and the initiation of this institution mean a lot and 100 plus to EU. Because definitely when you aid us Liberians, those of us that cannot afford attending TU, those of us that cannot afford attending other higher institutions that require a lot of money, at least we can learn from this. Even be away from lack of money, but at least you should have some professional, know-how that is something that one can base on to start life early. You see, it isn't hard for men to become to be responsible, even for women to be responsible. Because these days, at least we find teenage pregnancy or men early marriages and things. And so when you are privileged to attend vocational institution and you find that you become some kind of breadwinner as early as possible. One can graduate from this institution, maybe from what you own, you can pursue your further study in a university. And so it means a lot for us, most especially those of us who are in Maryland County. We want to take the chance, though the construction is at about 98% completion. I believe sooner or later, some part of, I think about 2-3 months ago, the donors came and we toured the building and there was some other material or instrument that need to come. We are waiting. Government send some, students, some of our children away to study for, the caretaking or the control of this center. And so we are hopeful that, near future, very close near future, it will be opening to the public.
So the construction is one thing and making use of it is another thing. What's your message to parents and guardians in encouraging their children to take advantage of the institution?
I want to encourage our parents, including the guardians, that this is a golden opportunity for us. That they should encourage their children, discourage them from this staying in those various zoo bushes, the unfinished horses, staying in rubber bush and making use of this building. Definitely, if the child is encouraged, the parents have tax. Yeah, though we say our children these days, you find them getting in this thing through peer pressure. But equally so, you born the child, you have the final say. And so, if the parents can set the child down and tell the child the importance of education, make comparison with other children that are in their peer friends, I think those that can understand will really understand them. And so we want to encourage our parents, our guardians to take advantage of really encouraging the children to be encouraged in enrolling at this institution if it gets so open. And I believe we will work better, receive better from those children. But actually, whatever knowledge they acquire from them will mean a lot to the family.
Is there any final message you want to leave off with?
Your comment is very timely. At the beginning of every academic year, you find that we want to give this essential information. And so we again want to repeat ourselves because the information is widespread right now. It's about politics time. You will find these politicians will come to take our children away to go and run campaign for them, giving them the impression that no good school. Until after election, we're hearing this and all kind of information that is widespread. But we want to discourage that our parents do not listen to these people. If the child comes from school where they are welcome to join behind the politician, because everybody has their own choice. But not to say that you will stay out of school until election is over. Mind you, if you stay out of school, you the student. The politician that you behind when they are elected in their position, by the time you come back, your friends have gone far in lesson, and that will surely delay you. So before you follow a politician in your community to run the politics, to preach them, you got to go to your lesson first. After school, then you join behind them. So I want to encourage our students. Schools will be opening by next week, Monday. We pray that everybody will be ready to go to class. That is the 4th of September. I want to encourage all of our students to return to school. And the next thing, parents, it is not easy. You can't just go to dash a child in the school. Even government say education is free, but mind you, nothing is totally free. Because of the bad road condition, can you imagine there's no way for even instructional material to get here easily? And so the little activities fee you pay, you find school administrators that are avoiding it from other things to buttress government effort. That is buying chalk and others, and you feel stationary. So as you go to register the child, we are not saying you carry the 100% what is charged, but at least you should make sure that at least you carry something that the school can start with. This is one of the advices I want to give. Thank you for coming, and let God bless you.